scouting report on them. That's pretty recent. Not very often you get to play a team that's just played, huh?
Yeah, I'd say that's the silver lining is we got a pretty good beat on them. I'm sure they got a pretty good handle on us too, though.
What did you learn from this last weekend with your team? What did you see? What you...
I was really pleased with our performance. You know, there's a few things that we worked on during the week that we were able to put into play. A few different phases of the game. I thought we upgraded, and I really liked the way we blocked and defended. It seemed like that was a strength for us. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of good, and it feels like we're playing pretty good volleyball at a time, and we want to be playing pretty good.
I was going to say, because that was trending before you went in Ohio State and Nebraska. I mean, you kind of been going this way for a little bit now, right?
Yeah, it feels like it. You know, the teams. We were able to figure out a few things about who should go where and how we want to play, and it seems like we've been adding some nice layers to that over the last few weeks. Yeah, I'd agree.
Talk about how your outside hitters are impacting the block. I know that obviously Carter and Erica, Nye and Ellie throughout the year have been stellar defensively, but how is having that sort of team depth on the block kind of impacted having a really good defensive season?
Yeah, I think the Pins have been doing a great job. You know, from Jenna and Mel over on the right to Taylor and Wooksy over on the left, just doing a good job. McKenna just lining it up, getting in good spots, and no doubt our middles are making good reads and good moves, and that helps. But part of the equation is being in the right place in the right time. I think we're getting better at lining it up at the pin so that the middle can kind of get out there and join them. It seems to be going pretty well.
You've talked about the journey to being the last team standing in this thing. So what's it like to be one of the last 16 that are left?
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's. I think oftentimes it gets lost on a lot of people, but the idea that there are only 16 teams practicing today out of whatever it is, 300 and change. I mean, that's a real thing. So we don't take it lightly. I think it's a privilege to still be competing, and we'll take it as such.
Hugh, piggybacking off that, this is your 8th straight trip to the Sweet 16. What's allowed that consistent success year after year for you?
Well, we've been fortunate enough to recruit quality athletes. That makes the difference, and it turns out they're quality people. And the way we go about it, trying to get them ready for the end of the season versus trying to peak at the beginning. I think that's been probably a critical part of it, and that consistency has been a huge thread or a huge part of our program. It's something we take a lot of pride in. Yeah.
Hugh, what was the biggest difference the second time you played Ohio State compared to the first?
We played better. I think, and they played well here, and to their credit, I think we were still a work in progress at that point. We learned a lot of lessons after that match, I'll tell you that. And I think now we've got two pretty good teams going at it, so it should be an interesting match. Yeah.
Is there any benefit to having played at Texas already this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think Gregory Gym's a good venue. It's good to have been there already. Played a couple of matches, so I think. We played a match, but I think it'll help. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being familiar with the venue. Yeah.
Last 5 or 10 matches, what do you like most about the way you guys have played?
Just think the consistency piece has been really nice, and just lots of good. I think there's a tendency, especially in bigger matches, to feel like you've got to pull a rabbit out of the hat, as it were, and I think for athletes, knowing that they're good is good enough. Just being able to stay in there and maybe have a little faith in themselves and the team and those around them and the way we're doing things, I think that matters. So that's been good to see.
How do you see the competition ramp up as you go from 64 to 32 to 16? I mean, that margin for error gets thinner with every match. So how do you see that competition ramping up?
Yeah, that's exactly the right way to describe it. The margins get thinner and thinner, and so your ability to be present, to lock into the plan, to execute, all those things, all of a sudden take on a little bit. I don't know if bigger magnitude or maybe greater importance, but that stuff all of a sudden becomes a differentiating factor, I think.
You reflect on the last decade. What's the best part of coaching in the NCAA tournament?
Well, it's a privilege to get to be a part of it. I mean, we're an NCAA institution. The NCAA tournament is one of the main goals for our program every year, and so yeah, it's just great to be a part of it. It feels like you're a real part of the fabric of what NCAA sports should be about.
Obviously with the NIL and the transfer portal and all those things, we always focus on football and all, blah, blah. How's it affected volleyball? Is it a lot different game that you're playing now? Is that something that you're concerned about?
I think it's, those ripples are spread throughout all sports currently. Obviously we see it at the forefront in football and basketball. But I think, the opportunities are there for all student athletes. I think it's just another, evolution, iteration, or whatever, another change in college athletics, and we got to adapt and move on. But it's not going anywhere. It certainly is a part of the volleyball scene, and I'm sure every other sport as well.
We have a roster that has kind of the ability to have depth defensively and offensively. I wonder about having, especially in that, again, with those middles, where they can not only provide so much defensively, but then their work with Melanie and kind of providing a whole offensive wrinkle. Is that something that you focus on in your development process, or is that something that you look at the roster that you have and say, we need to find a way to get these people going?
No, it's certainly something we work on. A year ago, for whatever reason, the middle wasn't a big part of our plan. I think this year being able to have that balance has been really good in a lot of ways. One, of course, you got to honor the middle. You can't just leave to the pins anymore. And more importantly, as they become more of a factor in the offense, they hold the block and create space at the pins as well. So, the whole point of an offensive scheme, probably in most sports, is to create space and attack space, and having balance allows you to do that.
Do you think that it's kind of interesting to have 5 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16 and 4 of them will be playing each other? It sort of has, I don't know, I thought that was kind of a unique wrinkle that you're going to have 2 Big Ten matchups in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, no surprise that you've got 5 teams. As for who got to be in what regional, it's above our pay grade. But yeah, I mean, if it's interesting, cool. It just is what it is. You just got to deal with it. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to take in that moment Saturday night after beating Northern Iowa? Just the reality that's the last time we're going to be a coach here on this court.
I didn't give it too much mind. We've known for a while that was going to happen. So yeah, it was cool and great that we got to win, and I was really happy for the team. Yeah.